Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk About It Buffalo podcast with your host, Anthony Stevens, right here out of the beautiful city of Buffalo, New York, the city of good neighbors. Welcome to season number 1, episode number 14. Yet before we get into the episode, we'd like to take this time to thank all of our sponsors all over the world who sponsor Let's Talk About It Buffalo podcast. If it wasn't for you, there would be no podcast. Thank you for your acts of kindness and generosity toward this podcast show. If this is your very first time joining us here on Let's Talk About It Buffalo podcast, why don't you put your hand together, give yourselves a round of applause. We thank you so very much for joining us here on this beautiful Tuesday evening, right here from the great city of Buffalo, New York, the city of good neighbors. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we're celebrating Black History Month. All month long, we're celebrating Black history, and we had amazing Black history so far. If you did not get a chance to join us for part one of Dr. Maya Angelous, you still have time to go to any of our social media or listening platforms to hear our podcast show from yesterday. I tell you, we are now in part two of Dr. Maya Angelous, and we're going to play that recording for you in just a few minutes. But again, I want to share this moment with you, how you can connect up with us again at the end of our podcast show. How you're going to be able to connect up with us is through our social media, our listening platforms, and also, ladies and gentlemen, you can subscribe through our email that will be provided for you in the description of the podcast show. We're so excited for everybody across the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into tonight's episode with Dr. Maya Angelous. I want you to know that you will enjoy listening to Dr. Maya Angelous, a great poet, also a great writer, many books that she has written. We're celebrating her on this Black History Month.
Tonight, I want to speak to the quiet thief in the room. It is not loud. It does not shout your name. It does not break your door. It waits. It waits while you say, tomorrow. It waits while you promise yourself, soon. It waits while you rehearse the life you are going to live instead of stepping into the life that is calling you right now. Its name is procrastination, and it is stealing your life, not in one dramatic moment, not in a single tragic decision, but in 1,000 soft delays that look harmless and feel reasonable and sound intelligent. It steals your courage first, then it steals your confidence, then it steals your time, and when it is finished with time, it takes something far more precious. It takes your belief in yourself. Look at me for a moment. Every person in this room has something unfinished inside them. Every person listening to my voice right now carries an idea, a dream, a promise, a responsibility, a talent, a calling, or a quiet desire that has been waiting far too long for your permission. Not because you are incapable, but because you keep postponing your own becoming. You do not delay because you are lazy. You delay because you are afraid. Afraid of not being ready. Afraid of being seen. Afraid of failing publicly. Afraid of discovering that you are more powerful than the small life you have learned to survive. Procrastination is not a time problem. It is a courage problem. It is a relationship with fear. It is the habit of protecting your comfort instead of honoring your potential. And I want you to understand something tonight that may unsettle you, but it may also set you free. You do not need more motivation. You need more honesty. Honesty about the way you keep negotiating with your destiny. You tell yourself you are waiting for the right moment, but the right moment is waiting for you. You tell yourself you need more clarity, but clarity comes from movement, not meditation on fear. You tell yourself you need confidence, but confidence is built by doing the very thing you are avoiding. And deep down, you already know this because you have felt it. That small ache in your chest when you scroll past someone living boldly. That quiet tension in your body when you think about the work you have been postponing. That sudden heaviness when you realize how long you have been preparing to begin. That is not jealousy. That is recognition. Your spirit recognizes what your habits are denying. Procrastination does not mean you do nothing. Oh no, it is far more deceptive than that. You stay busy. You organize, you research, you plan, you polish, you rewrite, you rehearse. You tell yourself you are being responsible. But preparation becomes procrastination the moment it replaces action. You can polish a dream until it disappears. You can perfect a plan until it never leaves the page. You can protect your idea so long that it never has a chance to breathe. And the most painful truth of all is this: you can love your future so much that you sacrifice your present to it. But life is not lived in preparation. Life is lived in participation. Right now, here. In your imperfect, trembling, unfinished readiness, there is a dangerous story many of us tell ourselves. I'll start when things calm down. But life does not calm down, it shifts. It rearranges. It replaces one responsibility with another. It trades one problem for a different challenge. If you wait for silence before you begin, you will wait until your courage forgets how to speak. Another story we tell ourselves is even more damaging. I'll start when I feel confident. But confidence is not a prerequisite for action. It is the reward. It is the echo that follows bravery. You were never designed to feel ready before you move. You were designed to become ready because you moved. Every meaningful change in your life began with discomfort. Every brave decision you admire in others was once a terrifying risk inside someone's chest. Every strong voice was once a shaking whisper. And yet, procrastination convinces you that you are the exception, that your fear is special, that your hesitation is justified.
We're going to pause for just a second, but many of you would like to leave us a message. You can do so that right now as we are on the podcast live and right here on every social media on the listening platforms. If you want to leave us a message, you can do so while the podcast is going on. If you have any questions, you can call in. I'm going to give you this number that you can call in at any time if you have any questions for our podcast show. Our number is 716 259 2964. 716 259 2964. If you have any questions that you would like to ask us during our podcast show, we're looking to speak with you live right here on our podcast as we continually joining in, listening to Dr. Maya Angelou. And I know that you are enjoying this episode. Let's go back and hear some more of Dr. Maya Angelou.
That your delay is wise. But listen carefully. There is a difference between patience and postponement. Patience serves your growth. Postponement protects your fear. Patience is grounded. Postponement is numb. Patience listens. Postponement hides. And if you are honest with yourself tonight, you already know which one you have been practicing. Procrastination does not arrive with panic. It arrives with permission. You give yourself permission to wait. You give yourself permission to shrink today so that you don't have to risk tomorrow. But the cost of that permission is your self-respect, because every time you delay something that matters to you, a small part of your integrity goes quiet. You stop trusting your own word. You stop believing your own promises. You start lowering your expectations of yourself, not because you lack ability, but because you keep training your mind to break contracts with your future. And nothing weakens a person faster than becoming unreliable to themselves. You can disappoint other people and recover. But when you disappoint your own potential long enough, something sacred begins to fade. Your sense of direction, your hunger for growth, your willingness to try again, your belief that your life still belongs to you. Procrastination slowly convinces you that time is infinite. But it is not. It is generous. It is forgiving. But it is not endless. Every day you delay is not neutral. It shapes who you become. It reinforces what you tolerate. It trains your nervous system to choose safety over truth, comfort over courage, familiar pain over unfamiliar possibility. And I want you to hear this gently, but clearly. Your life is not waiting for you to become perfect. Your life is waiting for you to become present. There is no version of you in the future, who will suddenly be fearless, flawless, and free of doubt. That version does not exist. Is that growth is something you do later. But growth is something you do now. While
We thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the audio on today of Dr. Maya Angelous. I got about 5 minutes left, and I just want to speak to many of you that are listening across the world. I want to take this time to really thank you for being a part of this on tonight. This has really opened up my understanding more as a young black man to hear great authors, especially Dr. Maya Angelous. I really want to take this time to tell my audience to do your research on Dr. Maya Angelous. We talked about it yesterday about doing your research. And while we were sitting here, I want to thank the non-listeners who have already emailed us. Many of you have emailed us while the show was going on. We really do a thank you and appreciate your comments for tonight's episode. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for those wonderful people who have emailed us doing the podcast show with your comments. Thank you. You really encourage me to keep moving and going. This is what it's all about. Helping each other, getting our understanding of how important this is that we live in this world today. Young people need to know how important many of these people that we are sharing on our podcast is to the world. Dr. Maya Angelous wrote so many books, but before I end the podcast, I'm going to play a little bit more of her, but I want to get you to understand the reason why we celebrate again Black History Month. Just take a moment and think about some of the amazing people in the world today that we celebrate and we appreciate. Many of them, don't always get celebrated, all the time, but we celebrate them in a way where we're remembering their legacies as they leave it for us to share along with our children or loved ones. And it's important that we do that because of Dr. Maya Angelous. She has really helped a lot of women across the world. So before I leave the episode tonight, again, I want to thank you for joining us here at Let's Talk About It Buffalo podcast. Thank you for joining us for this season number 1, episode number 14. Again, you can join us on all of our social media platforms, listening platforms. Also, you can be a part of our online merch. And also, you can be a part of our Patreon. That's very important. And we're going to leave out this episode in these next 2 minutes with Dr. Maya Angelous. We're going to end out with her speaking. But again, I want to thank all of my listeners all over the world. Again, please, ladies and gentlemen, join us on YouTube. Please go there right now. Subscribe to our channel. Like and comment. Turn on that notification bell that you know when we upload more videos on YouTube. We got a lot coming up for you on YouTube. So please, ma'am, and please, sir, join us there. So let's get back into Dr. Maya Angelous as she closes this episode out. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of Let's Talk About It Buffalo podcast. We trust that you enjoyed this episode on this evening as we get back into it. Thank you.
your hands shake and your voice wobbles and your confidence flickers like a fragile candle in the wind. And let me tell you something important. Fear does not disappear when you delay. It deepens. It becomes more sophisticated. It learns your patterns. It studies your excuses. It memorizes your justifications. And eventually it stops feeling like fear at all. It feels like logic. It feels like maturity. It feels like realism. But realism without courage is only resignation wearing a clean suit. You were not created to manage your dreams. You were created to move toward them. You were not placed on this earth to maintain the same emotional posture for decades. You were designed to stretch, to evolve, to surprise yourself, to outgrow what once kept you safe. Procrastination is not harmless. It steals your momentum. It dulls your emotional edge. It makes your goals feel heavier than they actually are. Because the longer you delay a brave action, the larger it grows in your mind. What could have been one small step becomes a towering mountain. What could have been one honest conversation becomes a lifelong silence. What could have been one imperfect beginning becomes a permanent regret. And regret is heavier than effort. Regret stays longer than fear. Regret does not teach. It haunts. I am not here tonight to shame you. I am here to remind you. You still have agency. You still have breath. You still have choice. No matter how long you have waited. No matter how many times you postponed. No matter how many false starts left behind you. This moment is still alive. And this moment is enough. You do